Welcome, Patriots, Starseeds Lightworkers, and of course our brave military. I'm Alex West. Now, I want to cover and expose, and we're going to call this title, Your Birth Certificate. The birth certificate, the great human fraud. You were never free. You were QSEP'd and coded. You were never in debt. You were the collateral of a $169 trillion scam wrapped in silence. Hidden in plain sight, from birth, you were monetarized. Your name in all capital letters wasn't a typo. It was a creation of your straw man. The corporation or corporate fiction tied to your QSIP number and was traded as a bond on the global markets. You weren't registered. You were collateralized. Your birth certificate became your financial instrument behind your back. Your identity was split. One version was the living and sovereign. The other version was to control you. They enslaved your labor, productivity, your energy without your consent. You were a citizen, or you were never a citizen. You were inventory. Every tax, every fine, every signature processed through your straw man. You didn't owe the system. The system owed you. But they flipped the narrative, blamed you for being poor, and taught you to worship the very chains they locked you with. The $169 trillion lie is not about national debt. It's about stolen value. Internal estimates reveal hidden trust accounts, shadow banking, and siphoned wealth worth $495,000 per person on the planet. They called it policy. It was theft. They called it governance. It was slavery. This was not incompetence. It was designed this way through legal trickery and Masonic codes. They turned your name into a vessel. The real you, sovereign and divine, was bypassed. The straw man, the fiction in all your caps that is on every piece of ID you have, is their system that punishes you, regulates and exploits you. Every contact or contract you sign was with them, not you. The illusion was enforced through and so thoroughly that even questioning this whole system sounded insane. But not insanity. It wasn't. It was your awakening. You were always the source, the trust fund, the creditor. The banks printed currency based on you. The governments exist off your bonds. We, the people, created our own demise through these governments. The contract is broken, and now we collect. What they feared most has arrived, an awakening of creditors. You are not taking what is yours, what isn't yours. You are repossessing what has always been yours. No more begging, no more asking. The numbers are leaking. The system is collapsing. This deception for them is terminal. And this is where I'm saying people that by going out and creating your own ID will give you your divine persons, your sovereignty, identity back to you. You can still use your straw man for the system, because that's exactly what the white hats are using now. Okay? The white hats are using the corrupt banking system and the strawmans that are out there, because they need to identify you, and there's no better way to identify you, right, than to keep your original identities. So when they do go to repossess all your money, they'll know who to get it to. Eventually we'll be able to drop our old IDs, passports. There will not be any more borders, I believe. We'll be able to travel freely around the world, because it's the world is our divine place of birth, not a country, which they had designed all these borders and countries and religions. That was all they're designed to separate everybody, to keep everybody at war and hating each other. And in Canada, they're starting to come out saying, I'm hearing headlines saying, Canada has lost its kindness and its generosity and all this other shit. It's just so much, propaganda bullshit, right? And we can't fall into these, these paradigms that they design to, throw it in our face and keep us in fear and keep us hating each other and stuff like this. Their biggest fear is for us to start spreading our love and, bringing humanity back together. And this is why when I do get back, I'll be taking pictures of, together with Filipinos, together with other East Indian people that are in Canada and other people of different ethics. Because, I have never, we were never born with racism. It was always, bred or not bred into us. It was always, mind controlled into us, basically by the media and the, rotten. And of course, all of them are rotten to the core, and they're all being exposed for what they're doing now. We need to bring humanity together as one, because, and I believe by the exposure of all our little children that have been exploited and trafficked and slaved and God knows what for thousands of years is going to come to an end. And I believe that, once totally exposed, will bring humanity back together, and these reptiles will go to their demise. We need to see this happen. I believe that, we have not had anything. We've had many, many promises, even with the Trump administration, that promised us many different things that are happening, but we're not seeing any life-changing events at our level. And that's telling me, there's a lot of things that's telling me. And what I'm saying is that we have to take the initiative. People are saying to me, well, what's the sense of having precious metals or doing this, investing here or buying, currency here, if we're going to be paid anyways? If we're going to be paying through our NESARA, GESARA, who knows? How long is that going to be? How long is it going to take? I've been waiting for 25 years. I'm 70 years old now, still waiting. When I started this whole shit show campaign, I was 45 years old. And now I'm 70. 25 years later, and I'm still here. I'm telling everybody that we have to start making our own way through this valley of darkness, because promises made and promises kept are starting to become questionable for me now. I know that good things are happening. I know that, the evil bastards are getting arrested. I know that there's a lot of things, and the hardcore suspects of tyranny and treasonous operations that they have been operating, they're all coming to they're all being arrested, tried, and hung for it. I believe that that's what's going on. But nothing that is going on in our world right now is affecting us directly. We're not seeing any compensation yet. This is why King John Smarty's out there trying to push the TDA and the trust deposit, whatever they are, accounts. That's your money, and trying to help you pay the bills through those accounts. And you can go to Telegram and type in capital letters TDA and then a space SD, and that is a chat site for people that are into paying their bills through this TDA, and they have a website there that you can chat along and ask questions, and questions will get answered back to you. I think that would be very, very helpful. For me, I don't need it. I don't have any bills in my life. I've taken care of pretty much everything, and I just receive a simple pension now through my straw man. I do not, I still have my straw man IDs, but I want to have my divine sovereign ID, right? So I can tell if I ever have a incident that I need to deal with and show my true identity, because they're the ones that created the two of us, right? They're the ones that created the straw man. And and I was listening to a guy there the other day saying that if you ever do get into court, you can just, before the judge even says anything, you say, "Judge, do you see a living person in front of you?" And just wait for his answer. And if he does not answer, just say, "Judge, do you see a living person in front of you? Or do you see a dead person?" If you only see a dead person, then this court is not whatever you want to call it in their legal terms. But a pretty, and I will give you actually what his site was, but it was a good site, and it was something that really struck a nerve with me. And there's lots of stuff like that is coming out now that will, stand up in our defense. That is what's going on. I don't entertain myself talking to cops or talking to judges or lawyers, or I really stepped outside of that matrix, and I run a pretty simple life here in the Philippines as well, because that's here in the Philippines is still part of the old paradigm, the old matrix, and everything is and I look at even water meters and their power banks and their hydro meters and stuff like that. It's the same thing here as it is anywhere else, right? They're just sucking the system, and not we have to learn. We have to be the ones that learn how to use our divine sovereignty, our real and throw our straw man out. We're still going to need it to collect if we're still collecting through the system, but in the same time, we can live two lives as well. And, you know, one life, it will be our divine sovereign, and the other one will be our fictitious straw man. Anyways, that being said, time's up for me, and I will see you on the next one.